Hey, so you're gearing up for the TOEFL ITP? Awesome. You probably already know it's not just an English test. Today, we're going to put together your game plan, your secret weapon to absolutely crush it. Let's dive in.
Okay, so here's the first thing you've got to get in your head. Yes, it's an English test, obviously, but really, it's a test of strategy. It's about how you play the game under pressure. Honestly, having a solid game plan can be even more important than memorizing a dictionary.
All right, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll size up the challenge, then we'll dive into the winning strategies for listening, structure, and reading. And at the end, we'll pull it all together into your ultimate game plan. Simple as that. So what exactly are we facing here? The TOEFL ITP is a paper-based test, and it's split into 3 parts. Think of them as 3 totally different challenges. Listening, then structure and written expression, and finally, reading. Each one needs its own unique battle plan. First up, listening comprehension. And whoa, this section is a whirlwind. You're looking at 50 questions, but here's the catch. You only hear the audio once. That's it. No replays, no second chances. That one-and-done rule is the biggest hurdle, so you have to be locked in, totally focused from the word go. Okay, let me give you the single most important trick for Part A, the short conversations. You ready? Speaker 1. They're just setting the stage. The answer, almost every single time, is hidden in what the second speaker says. That's your target. Focus all your energy right there. All right, so how do you actually decode what that second speaker is saying? Well, first off, don't expect the answer to use the exact same words. The correct answer is going to be a paraphrase, the same idea, just said differently. Oh, and watch out for words that sound similar. Total trap. Instead, ask yourself, what are they doing with their words? Are they agreeing? Are they surprised? Figuring out the function is the real key. Now, for the longer stuff, the conversations and lectures, you have to remember one golden rule. The audio is like a train that doesn't stop. If you get hung up on one question, you're going to miss the information for the next one. The absolute best thing you can do, take your best guess and immediately get your head back in the game. Just let it go and refocus. Do not let yourself fall behind.
Okay, on to Section 2, structure and expression. This part is all about grammar, plain and simple. But it's not a leisurely walk, it's an all-out sprint. You've got 40 questions to tackle in just 25 minutes. That means speed and accuracy are everything. You gotta be fast, and you gotta be right. For Part A, the sentence completion part, my best advice is keep it simple. Seriously, don't overthink it. The first thing you should do every single time is look at the sentence and ask 2 basic questions. Where's the subject and where's the verb? I'm telling you, like 90% of the time, one of those 2 things is missing. Your only job is to spot what's gone and pick it from the options. Now for Part B, where you have to play detective and find the mistake. The worst thing you can do is just randomly guess. No, you need a system, a checklist. First, investigate the nouns and pronouns. Then, check the verbs. After that, look at the adjectives and adverbs. And finally, hunt for any problems with parallel structure. See? You're not guessing anymore. You're conducting a systematic search. So you might be asking, what the heck is parallel structure? It's actually pretty simple, but it's a favorite trap on this test. All it means is that when you have a list of things, they all have to be in the same grammatical form. You can't have running, swimming, and to cycle. It has to be running, swimming, and cycling. Once you train your ear to listen for that rhythm, these mistakes just jump right out at you. All right, here we go. The final boss. Reading Comprehension. This is the marathon section. We're talking 50 questions, 5 or 6 long passages, and only 55 minutes on the clock. And let me be clear, the biggest enemy here isn't the vocabulary, it's the clock. Time management is the name of the game. If you want to beat that clock, there is one rule you cannot break. Do not read the entire passage first. It is the single biggest mistake you can make. Instead, you need to flip the script. Use the question-first strategy. Read the question first, pull out the keywords, and then go hunting in the passage for those exact words. This transforms you into a super efficient information-seeking missile. So let's break down the common question types. Think of this as your personal cheat sheet. If they ask for the main idea, to skim the first sentence of every paragraph, that's usually where it's hiding. For a specific detail question, that's your keyword hunting mission. Now, for those annoying except or not questions, your job is actually to find the 3 answers that are true and cross them off. What's left over is your answer. And for vocab, context is everything.
And I've got to double down on this for vocabulary questions. A word you think you know can have like 5 different meanings. And you can bet the TOEFL will test you on the one you don't know. So please, don't just see a word, recognize it, and pick the familiar definition. That's a trap. You have to go back to the sentence and see how it's actually being used. The context tells you everything. Okay, we've dissected each section. We've got our individual battle plans. Now let's zoom out and talk about the big picture, the universal strategies that will boost your score across the board. This next one is maybe the easiest way to add points to your score. Ready? The number of questions you should leave blank is 0. Absolutely none. Why? Because there's no penalty for guessing wrong. A wild guess might be right. An empty bubble is always wrong. So always guess. So how do you put all this into action? Practice. But I'm not talking about just doing questions. I'm talking about smart practice. First, only use official TOEFL practice tests. Second, you have to simulate the real deal. That means setting a timer and sticking to it. But here's the most important part. When you're done, don't just count up your score. You have to become a detective for your own mistakes. Figure out why you got each question wrong. That analysis is how you find your weak spots and fix them for good. So there you have it. We've gone over the layout, we've pointed out the common traps, and we've built a strategy to win. Look, you're not just a test taker anymore. You're a strategist. You have a game plan. So the only question I have for you is, are you ready to go play?